Home defense. All right. My quick take on home defense. I'm not going to get into the whole caliber wars debate between what the most effective round is for a sidearm or a pistol. You choose what you want. You pick 9mm, you pick 40 caliber, you pick 10mm, you pick 357 Magnum, you pick 45 ACP, you pick 22 long rifle, you pick whatever you want to pick. I don't care. The main thing is at least you have something to defend your home with, and you're proficient with it and you train with it. Now, if you look at YouTube, everybody is a so-called expert. Everybody thinks they know something. Special forces this, or they have an uncle that was a Green Beret, or they were in the Marine Corps and the Army Rangers or Navy SEALs, whatever. None of that matters when it comes to home defense. You could be a doggone ROTC cadet, or a police explorer, or you could be a 95-year-old grandmother. When you defend your home, your title won't matter whether it says Force Recon or Navy SEAL or Green Beret. When you're at home and you feel like you're in a relaxed place like your house, you don't have a squad or a whole team, snipers on the roof and all that stuff to protect you. All you have is you. You might have a dog. Hopefully you have an alarm system. And if you're married, you might have your wife. So for the average person like that, whether you're a veteran, you've served, whether you've not served, whether you're 20 years old or 100 years old, this is about home defense. All right, so this is my take. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm super expert, high speed, low drag, Green Beret, Force Recon, Navy SEAL. I'm just going to say I'm a homeowner that's concerned about my family's safety. I'll tell you a little bit about what I do here at home. One thing I definitely advocate is purchasing a good, reliable gun safe. And I'm not talking about the big ones. You can get one of those if you have a lot of guns. I'm talking about something for a sidearm. This one is made by Stack-On. Very good piece of gear here. You have a 3-button coding system here. I'm not going to do the code to open it because I don't want you to see my code. But either way, you can put your magazine in there, your gun cleaning stuff, some spare rounds. Put your gun in there with a spare mag inside, and you close it. You lock it, whatever. I have a key for backup in case the battery dies. So in case the battery dies, I can just open the doggone thing up, and it's on my keychain. And there's your Stack-On. For me, I prefer 45 ACP. That's just the way it is. You can argue all day long that 9mm is better or just as good or whatever. But the facts are that is a bigger bullet than a 9mm. That is a hollow point, of course, so you have expansion, which is good for home defense because it won't over-penetrate the assailant, the robber, the raper, the whatever. When he gets hit with this, it'll more than likely expand and stay inside of his body cavity. Whereas full metal jacket, ball ammo like so, may penetrate and go through and do damage to somebody that you don't want damage done to. So you can use these if you want. That's up to you. I prefer these. I use these for target practice. They're also great for home defense. They're great for putting an assailant down. But if you're really careful as a responsible firearms owner, this is what I think you should use. But again, these are all my opinions. Again, I prefer 45 ACP. So what do I got here? The Glock 21 SF. It's 45 caliber pistol. I have Trijicon night sights on there. I like them a lot. They work very well. Lifetime guarantee, and they glow for average of 10 to 12 years. They're tritium infused sights, so it's not like put under light and then they charge and get glowed like I've seen some people talk about on YouTube. These have irradiated isotopes, so they just glow all the time. So it could be daytime, you turn off the lights and you're in a closet, these things are always going to be on. Anyways, 45 ACP is my choice. I've had this particular Glock 21 SF for, gosh, I don't know how many years. A long time. At least 7 years. Let's put it that way. At least 7 years, maybe longer. 7 or 8 years. I bought this thing 7 or 8 years ago. And I'm in California, so as you can see, it has a 10 round magazine capacity. And here's another mag. I have more than just these 2 mags though. So even though you see 2 mags here, I have 2 more. So that's a total of 4 10 round magazines. And you got one in the chamber, that's 41 rounds on tap, right? So you can argue all day long about magazine capacity, but in a home defense situation, if you have 4 of these 10 round mags, you're doing really well. Back in the day, everybody had, you know, wheel guns, 357 Magnums, 38 Specials, whatever, and they defended their home just fine with those. So you're adding a lot more with these. So the round count and the mag limits in California for sidearms does not affect me. It does not bother me. You just got to work with it, train with it. You know, the 45 ACP for the Glock 21 magazines that are in other states where you don't have the mag capacity limits are 13. So that would be 3 more than what you have here. Sure, 3 rounds is better than 3 extra rounds is always better than not having those 3 extra rounds, but it's not a game changer. It's not something that's going to put fear in your body. Train with this thing. Take it to the range. Take a class, a pistol class if you want. Become proficient. Know when to reload, how to reload, under duress, the whole 9 yards. Anybody who knows the Glock knows that this is not charged. It's not loaded. The trigger's all the way to the rear. So stop worrying all these safety sallies. This pistol is fine. I'm using one hand to hold the cell phone, the other hand I'm demonstrating, so that's why I'm not showing you that it's cleared or whatever. The other one is also on tap here that I like is a SIG P220, also in 45 ACP, same caliber as this. Let me show you one of the magazines. I also have more magazines for this. Here's just an example. As you see, it's stainless steel, 8+1, reliable magazine, single stacked, works really nice. I like both pistols, shoot both of them very well. Oh, and this came with SIG night light sights. So these are also tritium. They're proprietary to SIG Sauer. They come from the factory like this. I didn't have to buy them and put them on. And they also have the same thing, 10 years to 12 years of constant glowing. They work just as good as these. They're a little different, but they're similar. These are aftermarket. I bought these myself. As you know, Glocks come with plastic sights. So a set of these Trijicons was about 90 bucks. And so the gun itself, I had bought it for like 600 bucks. So you figured slap another 90 bucks on there, you got a $700 gun here. This one was about $1,000. Some people might say that's too expensive for something that only holds 8+1, but that's your opinion. My opinion is it's worth every penny. Shoot it very well. I've had this one for about, I don't know, 5 years. Like I said, about 8 or 9 years. I don't remember exactly. At least 8. And like I said, I bought that about 5 years ago. This one, I remember, this is a Remington 870 12 gauge shotgun, pump action. This is the 870 Express. I bought this in, I think, 2003. So, I don't know. You do the math. It's 2017, 12, 13 years ago. It's a great gun. And it's very reliable. I haven't had any problems. I know Remington's had some bad press in the last couple of years, 3 years, 4 years. But I got lucky, I guess, because I've heard some quality control issues with Remington at the factory, especially in the nature of their 12 gauge line, their Express line, the 870, and as far as their the 700 series, the bolt action rifle, which has always had a great reputation in the past. All of a sudden now I've heard some quality control issues. I don't know. Maybe they ironed them out. I don't know. But again, I haven't had any problems with this, and I got it in 2003. This is a 1-point sling. you know, the typical Cordura strap, very thick. I like it. Got like a bungee effect here. If you can see here, you can put this little spacer on there, and then you have one on the other side. So righty, lefty, you got your ambidextrous sling attachment point there. This works very well. Let's see, I have a light mount, so I can put a Surefire or whatever kind of weapon mounted light right there, a white light. Also, I recommend that. The capacity of this in the tube, this is a tube extension, 2-round extension. So it is 6 in the tube and then 1 in the chamber for a grand total of 7. And there's your Remington 870 Express Magnum. What it says. There you go. Remington 870 Express Magnum. I don't think they make with the Magnum designator on it anymore, from what I understand. I don't know if that's true or not. It's like it's expected that it'll hold Magnum loads, but back then it would say Magnum, which means you can have a 3-inch shell in here, Magnum load, because you have the higher brass for that 3-inch shell. It's going to have more power, you know, a lot more force, more recoil, whatever you want to call it. For people that are not into guns, that force that moves back when you shoot the gun, if it's harder, stronger, that means there's more recoil. That's probably a Magnum load, but depends. You can have high brass for game loads too. Either way, this gun can handle Magnum loads, 3-inch shells, 2 3/4-inch shells, target load, birdshot, whatever shotgun ammo that you can put in there for a 12-gauge shotgun, this gun will handle it. That's the main point. I have my my cleaning brush in here with oil already on it. It's got some CLP on it. Then I've got my cleaning rod in there, and I just keep that in the case just in case. That's for me. Whatever. Meantime, home defense. For me, I have 2 45 ACP sidearms, and then the 12-gauge shotgun. But I mean, these are just 3 firearms that I'm displaying. I don't want to break out my whole arsenal of guns. I have a 22 back there. Got another shotgun. Got a Mosin Nagant, you know, some other stuff. I got a bolt action gun, 30-06 hunting rifle, blah, blah, blah. So meantime, I'm talking home defense. And the reason I'm focusing on these 3 is because these are my 3 go-to home defense weapons. And I train with these the most. I train with the shotgun a lot. I train with the 45s here that you see a lot. I'm accurate with all 3. I'm proficient with all 3. In the Marine Corps, I took a shotgun course, and I was a staff NCO, so I carried a sidearm. It was the Beretta M9. It wasn't a 45 ACP, but you know, everybody has their own personal preference. I'd rather have a 45 ACP. I was proficient with the Beretta. I was accurate with it. I was an expert. Every time I shot that gun on the range to qualify with it, I shot expert. So I have no problem shooting the 9mm. No issues with the Beretta. I actually like that gun. But as you can see, given the opportunity to buy what I want to buy, I bought a Glock in 45 ACP and a 6-hour in 45 ACP. Now I feel well defended with this stuff here, and I feel well prepared to deal with the majority of threats you're going to deal with in a riot or a looting situation, or you know, civil unrest or home invasion. This plethora of stuff that you see here, for the most part, I think gets the job done. If we have an invasion from North Korea or Russia or something like that, you know, yeah, AR-15 or maybe a SOCOM 308 or something like that would be better. But there's nothing I can think of to defend your home better than a shotgun and a 45 ACP sidearm, other than just your common sense. Of course, your alarm system, maybe a good Rottweiler or something like that, or a German Shepherd, whatever you like, or a Pit Bull, and then some martial arts skills. Again, common sense and just training. Use your training. Use the training that you got in the military, the police department, the Explorers, the Cadet Corps, ROTC, whatever personal classes you've taken. Utilize that training and then take it and practice it as often as you can. Be proficient. Be familiar with your weapons. Maintain your weapons. If you can see here, they are lubricated, oiled. They're not rusted. I take care of my guns as best as I could because they're going to have to take care of me one day, hopefully. I won't have to do that, but if in the event that they do, you will see there is a light coat on these rails. There's a light coat here, and this barrel is lightly coated. The finish on this is a Parkerized finish, and it doesn't hold up well as far as defeating rust. I don't know why that is. Maybe that was one of the quality control issues, but I keep this oiled. I make sure I lubricate it, every 3 or 4 weeks I put a light coat on it. But if anybody here has ever been in the military and you've ever got sent to the armory to clean weapons, you'll know that even in military armories, they have to keep a light coat of oil on their weapons to maintain them from, getting rusty. That's just the nature of the business. When you're dealing with steel and metal and water and moisture and humidity and being around salt water sometimes, or salty air close to the ocean or anything, that kind of stuff, metal and salt water for sure don't mix well. Light coat of oil, boom, just maintain your guns. Shoot with them, practice with them. And basically keep a smart mindset when it comes to defending your home. And just believe that you are the #1 deterrent to crime in your home. Don't leave it up to somebody else. That's all I got. Thanks a lot. Staff Sergeant Calhoun, United States Marine Corps 0811, out.